from a street, the street university. I mean, in other words, I realize a lot of people never went to university, and for the people that went, like myself, should, kind of project this into the street. And so we'll use street language and street situations so you can understand more critical theories and more critical thinking. Because a lot of people say, well, you people don't have critical thinking. You can't solve a problem because you're too dumb and all that. But which is not necessarily the case. But we could add some things to what we know and what we do. So we who got a chance to go to school should be able to bring some of that back home. Bring some of it back home. In fact, bring some of it to the street. We'll bring it to the street so you can work better, think better, act better, and move along your particular culture in your particular place. A lot of people say we need to find another. We need a leader. We need somebody like Martin. We need somebody like Malcolm X and all this. You don't necessarily need a leader. You can be your own leader in your first. Get some kind of control over yourself. Basic control over yourself. Understand yourself, and hopefully, somewhere in all this madness that we're trying to show here, we're going to get into knowing yourself. Then know your mate, your partner, or partners. Or know the opposite sex, sectum. Then how you work that. Now, back in the old days, we used to talk about the Uncle Tom, but here we're going to try to get into different cultural ideologies, and work simplistic complexities. Now, what is a simplistic complexity? Simplistic. How easy it is to create a child. Well, if you got a man and a woman, they do the in and out, then in 9 months, here's a child. It's as simple as that, but it's as complicated as the best doctors, the best scientists on the planet can't produce this in a laboratory. So it's simple, but it's complex. And this is the way we're going to be talking. And we'll be right back, and we'll just say we'll be right back so we can break this thing up into a few pieces. And we're coming right back. Okay, my name is Robinson, and we are talking about black women. And this is going to be Black Women 2. So the program will run 2-1, 2-2, 2-3, 2-4. So now we got some kind of calendar as to where we are. So if we have to refer back, we can refer back. Okay, this is the way we're going to work. We're going to work on something that we're going to call street calculus. Now, calculus used to scare me when I was in school, and it still do, whatever. But what it is a variance. So the deal is you don't have one answer. A lot of times you have 4 or 5 answers, and you have to take the 4 or 5 answers to find the one answer. Now what am I talking about? When you get the weather report on television, the guy, especially for hurricanes and some heavy stuff like that, he'll say, well, this is the model. Now, model 1 shows a hurricane going this way. Now, model 2 shows a hurricane is going that way. And model 3 showing the hurricane might, vary off this way and the other way and this and that. They don't have an exact answer to exactly where the hurricane is. But what do? They give you 4 or 5 variances. It might go this way, it might go this way, it might go this way, it might go that way. But as we look at the different trails, we see most of them are going in a certain direction. We'll give you another example. The cops is chasing somebody. The cop radios the other cop. Well, where's the villain? Well, the last time we saw him, he was going north. You know, and the other guy, well, he was going northeast. He was going northeast, but in this direction, he was going. They don't know exactly where the criminal is, but they have indicators showing that he's going into a certain direction, or into a certain place. So all of the indicators are showing that the criminal is moving into a certain area. What are we dealing with the black woman? What are we dealing with sociology, with the black community? What we're dealing with young black guys? We dealing with what is the problem? The problem is a lot of little things. A lot of little things are moving moving the problem to the left or to the right. It's not one thing. Calculus, there's many variables. There are many reasons. There are many possible questions as to why the black woman, or we see the black woman, is moving off center. There might be a lot of answers as to why the black woman is moving off center. Well, maybe she's just nuts. Maybe it's a situation where the black man is pushing her this way. Maybe it's a pressure from slavery and all this. Maybe it's the environment, and maybe it's a lot of other things. And it could be all these things. And here in calculus, we say, well, it's all of these things. You have not one answer. You have many questions, and you also have many answers. Well, how can you work with all these answers, all these questions? We see that the thing is kind of moving in a certain direction. So we can look at the thing and say, okay, well, with all these questions and all these answers, we're moving in one direction. So the street answer is this. When dealing with black women, we're dealing with an 8-legged spider. There are many reasons why she's doing what she's doing. And this could be, and she could be correct. Because if we ask the wrong questions, we're going to get the wrong answers. But we believe in calculus that we can, let's throw it all together. We can ask the right questions, we can ask the wrong questions, we can ask all kinds of things, all kinds of hard questions and silly things, and see where the road is taking us. It's kind of like a can of soup. A can of soup, porridge, is made, gumbo or whatever, is made out of a lot of little stuff. You know, you got a little meat in, you got a little vegetables, you know what I mean? You got a little this, and you got a little that, and you got a little season, you got a little that. It's a lot of stuff that makes up the soup. It's a lot of stuff that makes up the porridge. It's a lot of stuff. It could be primarily beans. It could be primarily beans, but we got a lot of other little stuff in it. We got a pizza. It's a lot of little stuff in the pizza. It's not one thing. Although it's primarily a piece of bread with meat and sausage and all the stuff on it, but there's a lot of other stuff in it. And this is the thing with socialism. This is the higher thinking. The higher thinking is there's no one answer to the problem. There's no one problem. And so we don't necessarily go in a straight line. We understand that the thing goes in a varying line. In other words, we have a road. The road don't necessarily run straight. It wiggles and it varies and it kind of yaws and it moves, but it's still going in a certain direction. And so when we look at human behavior, women behavior, black women behavior, black men behavior,